Hello, distinguished friends and colleagues. This is Stuart Hamilton, the Pro-Life Activities Coordinator for the Archdiocese of Louisville, Kentucky, serving under Deacon Stephen Bowling. And this is 5 Minutes for Life, where we take 5 minutes to discuss one ministry, one event, or one topic that affects the pro-life movement here in the Archdiocese of Louisville. For this video, we're going to get into something a little bit different: pro-life apologetics. What are apologetics? Well, first of all, it's not about saying you're sorry. Classically, apologetics is about being able to give a reason for what you believe and defending your position. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Planned Parenthood is sinking millions of dollars to spread their message across various media outlets and making their best cases for why abortion should remain legal at the state level. And I think it's extremely important that we're able to give an answer or a response to their best cases to our friends, our family, or our co-workers around the water cooler, if you talk about abortion around the water cooler with your coworkers. You might. So this video is devoted entirely to the question of life of the mother cases. That is by far what I'm hearing from everyone. If you make abortion illegal, then women will lose their lives in complicated pregnancies. And right off the bat, I want to tell you, we're going to get into very sensitive topics. We're going to talk about preeclampsia, ectopic pregnancies, and miscarriages. So if you've had those tragic situations in your past and you'd rather not hear about it, feel free to skip this video. So the claim is from the pro-abortion activists: if you make abortion illegal, when women have complicated pregnancies that may harm their lives, they will die because they don't have abortions. Well, is this the case? Two facts I want to point out right off the bat. Fact number one: in all of the states that have adopted pro-life legislation and have made abortion illegal, they all make an allowance for the life of the mother. The states are recognizing, and Kentucky is no different with its trigger law, that cases in which the life of the mother is in serious risk are very rare and very complicated, and we have to make allowances in order to preserve the autonomy of the mother. They're very rare, once again. So fact number one, this entire conversation is moot, because if the life of the mother were legitimately at stake, the law would already be in her favor. All right? Fact number two: the vast majority of legitimate life of the mother cases takes place in the third trimester of the pregnancy with the condition known as preeclampsia. Really, that is the vast percentage of life of the mother cases. Preeclampsia in the third trimester. But what is the solution doctors normatively put forward for that? Well, first of all, preeclampsia is when all the biological changes happening in the woman causes her body to begin shutting down in some way, either a spike in blood pressure or a drop in blood pressure, or even so severe as to have certain organs start to shut down. Now, if preeclampsia is not addressed quickly, then the woman will lose her life in a vast majority of cases. So how do you deal with it? Well, doctors normally prescribe different medications and procedures to keep the woman stable until they can have a C-section. That is by far the most preferable method of dealing with this, so that the baby can survive as well as the mother. Once again, this is a third trimester situation where the baby is normally well beyond the point of viability, and abortion would never be considered the first option. It would be considered so rare that I can't even find a case here. Unless the doctor is abortion-minded to begin with, he would never suggest that right off the bat. He would suggest a C-section. And guess what? Abortion clinics, they don't perform C-sections. Okay? In order to get a C-section to deal with preeclampsia, you have to have a legitimate hospital facility for that. So once again, right off the top, percentage-wise, the vast majority of life of the mother cases, preeclampsia, you would not have dealt with at an abortion facility. Okay, but that's not really what a lot of people are talking about. A lot of people are talking about ectopic pregnancies. As a matter of fact, President Biden mentioned by name ectopic pregnancies and the fact that he believes women will die from them when he signed his executive order a little while back that would provide abortion pills across state lines via mail order. And many politicians followed suit. I saw a lot of politicians saying women are going to die from ectopic pregnancy. So what is an ectopic pregnancy? Well, what happens in an ectopic pregnancy is the sperm and the egg connect and is fertilized and you have conception. But rather than implanting in the uterus so the fetus can grow, the fetus implants in the fallopian tubes, a situation that is 100% of the time fatal for the developing fetus. And if left with no intervention, it will be fatal for the mother as well. These are much rarer than preeclampsia, but they do occur. But here's the thing. You don't solve an ectopic pregnancy with abortions. You solve them with a procedure in which you remove a section of the fallopian tube that is affected by the ectopic pregnancy. You don't act directly on the fetus. You do a procedure on the fallopian tubes, and then you repair the tubes. Now, the baby will 100% of the time lose their life to the ectopic pregnancy, but not because of the procedure. It is a secondary effect. All right, so this isn't even an abortion. So these laws that get rid of abortion are not dealing with ectopic pregnancies at all. And get this, even if it were, these abortion clinics do not perform the fallopian tube procedure that would save women from ectopic pregnancies. We are 2-0. Both of these procedures would not be done at an abortion clinic, either the C-section for the preeclampsia, or the fallopian tube procedure for the ectopic pregnancies. Abortion clinics don't perform them, okay? So this does not factor into, even if they were abortions, they don't affect the legalization of abortion whatsoever. Now, oddly enough, the last thing I've heard in media a lot is that women will die from miscarriages if abortion is not made legal. Now, that does sound very strange. What does a miscarriage have to do with an abortion? Well, if a woman tragically miscarries in the second trimester, sometimes in order to remove the baby who is now dead, you have to do a dilation and an evacuation procedure. Now, this medical procedure is most commonly associated with second trimester abortions. But remember, definitionally, abortions occur when you act upon the fetus and take the fetus's life. The D&E procedure done in a miscarriage is not taking the fetus's life. The fetus has already passed. The fetus is dead. This is a removal procedure, and once again, the vast majority of the time it's done under the physician that is attending the pregnancy, and they're done at doctors' facilities, not abortion clinics. So we are 3-0. In all three of these cases, really abortion clinics have nothing to do with the procedure. In all three of the cases, the procedures that would be used to deal with this would not be illegal from these abortion laws that are out there. The fourth situation that I've heard about and that President Biden has mentioned at that executive order signing is pregnancy that occurs to girls that are preteens. Okay, now he mentioned this as though the life of a 10-year-old who had been raped would be in danger. But when I looked it up, there seems to be some controversy here because the girl in question, although she was pregnant, she was 10 years old, and there was a question of rape involved. It didn't seem like the argument being made here is that she developmentally could not bear the child, but rather that it was unfair for a child who had been raped to then bear the child legally. Now, that is an entirely different argument. It's not really a life of the mother argument. So I want to deal with that in a different video dealing with hard cases involving rape and incest. I think that's the fairest to that subject. But when it comes to preeclampsia, ectopic pregnancies, and miscarriages, what we're dealing with here are not really abortions, and abortion clinics have nothing to do with it. So be sure to calm the people's fear with these facts, all right? All right, so my time is up and then some. I'm going to let you go here. I want to say that every life is worth fighting for because every life is precious in the eyes of God. God bless you, and we'll see you here next time.